Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Jason Mackey's First 10, a short version podcast talking all things Pittsburgh sports. Today is Monday, November 18th, and it's a Victory Monday. Steelers 18, Ravens 16. You probably watched that from Acrisure Stadium. We're going to talk a lot about that, a lot to get into, some takeaways about the Steelers' ceiling. Really, I want to talk about kickers, some of the defining plays, what the Steelers did to shut down Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, just the whole Ravens situation, where that leaves the Steelers for the rest of the season. Again, a lot to get into with some Steelers talk on this Monday. First, want to remind you, though, that we're brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates. If you're injured in an accident, you're probably wondering what's next. For over 40 years, Edgar Snyder and Associates has helped injury victims answer that question. Whether it's gathering evidence, collecting medical records, or dealing with insurance companies, Edgar Snyder and Associates has helped over 75,000 people handle what's next. Call 1-800-94-EDGAR or visit edgarsnyder.com for a free consultation. And remember, there's never a fee unless they get money for you. So the Ravens-Steelers series has been an interesting place, has it not? The Steelers, what they've done to the Ravens is almost hard to comprehend when you imagine what Baltimore has done to the rest of the NFL. Lamar Jackson included, Derrick Henry included. They have been really, really good. But the Steelers have gotten them 8 of the past 9. They're always close games. The Ravens in that time, 37-18 against the rest of the NFL. It's crazy. I don't know where that leads things. It leads the Steelers in a very good place. Winners of 5 in a row. They have a game and a half lead up on the Ravens. They're 8-2. The Cincinnati Bengals last night, as you probably watched on Sunday Night Football, they're probably done at 4-7. We'll talk a little bit about that game at the end of the show, but the Steelers are sitting pretty. They're sitting pretty with a win over a rival, entering AFC North play. How do you feel about them? There was a great vibe in the locker room after this one. That was the focus of my column that is online at Post-Gazette.com right now. Some fun anecdotes sort of picked up along the way, and just a great culture, confidence building, that sort of thing. And you saw it manifest with a bunch of big plays, with how the Steelers are playing. I think you can look at the Steelers right now after this win against the Ravens and say confidently, they're equipped to win any kind of game you want to play. They didn't score a touchdown yesterday, and they beat the team with the best offense in the NFL. Think about that for a second. It's pretty darn impressive, in my opinion. They've got the best kicker in the NFL. By the way, quick sidebar, if you watch the Sunday night game, Evan McPherson missed 2 field goals, ended up being crucial in the Bengals' loss. He makes those, they could have won. Obviously, Justin Tucker, we saw for Baltimore how costly that was. He makes those kicks, Steelers lose. The Steelers don't have that problem with Chris Boswell, right? Elite of the elite. How many times can you say you've seen 2? Well, I actually don't think this has ever happened before, but 2 games in the same season where a guy kicked 6 field goals, half of them from 50-plus yards. Absolutely crazy. Boswell leads the NFL and makes, among anybody with a significant number of kicks, has the best conversion percentage, leads everybody in points scored. Unquestionably a weapon. But it's not just about Boswell, right? It's not just about the defense. It's not just about the big plays. It's about all of it. In my opinion, it's about playing complementary football. It's about being able to win a game no matter what situation is presented. Yes, you can look at Sunday and say it would have been great for them to score a touchdown. They need to score touchdowns. If they're going to play against, I don't know, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens down the stretch, if the Texans are for real, the Chargers, I don't know. But they are better equipped, maybe better than anybody. I don't know. That's a tough statement. That's a tough statement, right? To say they're better equipped than the Chiefs, who have more playoff experience recently. Same with the Bills. But they're right there. You can't look at a game on the Steelers' schedule and say they're not equipped to win. They don't know how to win it. They don't have a recipe to win it. They have all of that stuff. They're giving themselves a chance by playing complementary football, by helping one another out, by having offense, defense, special teams all contribute to wins. And I think we saw that against the Ravens, where the offense, it did some good things. It got enough going in the running game, 122 yards. It got it done when necessary. But, it wasn't a dominant offensive performance. It was a very good defensive performance. Maybe call it dominant. special teams in the form of Chris Boswell was very important. All right, I want to talk about some specific plays in the Ravens game and why I think they matter so much. A couple notes around the NFL. But first, I want to deliver a message from the Bradenton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. I'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Embrace the laid-back charm of island life while sinking your toes in the sand and discovering real, authentic Florida in the Bradenton area. Unspoiled beauty and pristine beaches, a vibrant waterfront downtown energized by local arts and culture, fresh Floridian cuisine with a flourish of rich history, and friendly locals ready to welcome you to this preserved paradise on Florida's Gulf Coast. Plan your visit today at BradentonGulfIslands.com.
And welcome back to First 10. I'm your host, Jason Mackey. We're here in the middle of the morning, Monday through Friday, talking 10 minutes, usually bouncing around a couple different Pittsburgh sports topics, but for understandable reasons, drilling down into the Steelers in an 18-16 victory over the Baltimore Ravens. So, okay, open the show with some big picture talk. I wanted to drill down a little finer into some plays that we saw that I think really mattered and explain why they mattered. Second play of the game, Nick Herbig forces a fumble, punches it out, TJ Watt style, which I think goes back to their relationship and how much Herbig has sort of been mentored by Watt, has watched him do his thing. It looked a lot like TJ Watt, but I thought it set an important tone for how the defense was going to play. Probably on the other side, set an important tone for how mistake-filled this game would be for the Ravens. Derrick Henry finishes with 65 yards, his second lowest output of the season. Fumbled. Derrick Henry doesn't fumble. It was his first in 538 touches, right? And so it sort of set the stage for that. Like that a lot. Patrick Queen was an interesting storyline yesterday, was absolutely playing with his hair on fire, which I loved. I loved Mike Tomlin sending him out for the coin toss. That was fun. And so he forces a fumble right before halftime. Isaiah Likely holding the ball out like he shouldn't. You're probably screaming about that if you're a Ravens fan, but it results in 3 big points for the Steelers right before halftime. Patrick Queen had a funny quote about wanting to get a turnover and give the ball to his mom and then sort of blacked out. It was his dad's birthday, and now he's not going to get any home cooking. Brian Batko covered at the Notebook, but just a fun guy. The quote of the game, though, was Mike Tomlin after this one, right? One man's trash is another man's treasure. Talk about trolling the Ravens sort of subtly and not wanting Queen back, but he was outstanding. All right, third big play, Peyton Wilson on a wheel route against Justice Hill rips the interception away from him. This kid is a rookie, and he's making a play like that. I mean, that is a veteran play. Peyton Wilson hasn't been perfect this season, but has been darn good. Far above expectations, has been an integral part, and really drew some rave reviews. It was also a big place in the game, right? Russell Wilson has just thrown a bad interception in the end zone, trying to go to Darnell Washington. Maybe the Ravens could have driven them back there. Who knows? Peyton Wilson, no. And I also liked, I wrote about this a little bit in my column, the process that led to it. Mike Tomlin had been challenging Peyton Wilson all week, saying this play was going to happen. When you're here, you need to make a play on it. Make sure Justice Hill either doesn't come down with the ball, doesn't keep the ball, whatever. Peyton Wilson said he took that personally. Cue the meme from The Last Dance of Michael Jordan. But he did. He did. And it ended up being absolutely huge. Fourth big play to highlight. Joey Porter Jr., 2-point conversion. Lamar Jackson running. Just a perfect tackle, read, assessment of the situation. Loved it. Really clutch play there from Joey Porter Jr. He talked about, the Steelers being prepared for what they thought the Ravens were going to do in that scenario, and they were looking for Lamar Jackson. Now, I know you might look at that, and I did the first time, and say, oh, yeah, great. Real brain buster there. You're looking for Lamar Jackson. But do you expect him to run? Do you expect him to pass? Do you expect him to go off of play action? Do you expect him to hand the ball to Derrick Henry? Are you looking for, Isaiah Likely or Mark Andrews across the? There's a lot to dissect there. Joey Porter Jr. made an excellent read on Lamar Jackson, an excellent form tackle in a completely clutch situation. Again, this is coaching. This is preparation. This is all stuff that goes into the process that the Steelers are getting the results right now. That's great. But, at 8-2, trying to look a little bit deeper. Where's this going? Where's this coming from? Where's this going to go? That sort of thing. And I like the process that I've seen out of these guys as well. So, yeah, when you look around the NFL, just to sort of wrap up today's episode, the Steelers are in excellent position, right? The Bengals should be cooked after last night. An entertaining game, mind you. Coming back, it was 27-6 at one point, becomes 27-27. Joe Burrow was fantastic, finds Jamar Chase, 12:21 to go in the fourth quarter. With a touchdown pass, Bengals have a chance. They drive, miss field goal. Bengals get another chance. They drive, miss field goal. Linking back to what we talked about before, Steelers thankful they have Chris Boswell. Eventually, J.K. Dobbins runs it in, and they knock them out. The Chiefs lose. I'm not sure I would discard the Chiefs. Probably still going to be good, although an excellent performance from Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. To get that done, I think those are your big three, right? Got to be. Short week for the Steelers. Be interested to see how they come out in Cleveland. We'll talk about that in the next couple of days, although tomorrow's show is probably going to be dedicated, honestly, to baseball and the reaction to what happens with Paul Skeens and the Rookie of the Year. Tonight might get into some football topics, but thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. This is always a fun 10 minutes, and talk to you tomorrow on First 10.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.